If you've never been on a long haul flight before, then keep watching. This video is for you. Today, I'm sharing 10 tips for surviving long flights. Hello, I'm Jeanette at Rustic Pathways, and we take students ages 12 to 22 on immersive and fun-packed travel programs all around the world. Now, before we get to those tips, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos. And also, please give this video a like. Okay, let's jump into those flight tips. Tip number 1, if at all possible, pick the seat of your choice. I think the window seat is very popular for the views, but usually on long haul flights, flight attendants tend to close them so that people can sleep and also see their screens better. Personally, I love the window seat views, but I'd rather have the freedom to get up whenever I want, to stretch my legs, walk around, go to the toilet, grab stuff from the overhead bins, but it's completely up to you. But also remember, if you do sit on the aisle seat, you're going to be expected to get up quite a bit to let your passenger your row neighbors, I don't know what they're called, people sitting next to you, you're going to have to get up quite a bit to let them through. Tip number 2 is to wear a comfortable outfit, as comfy as you can get. And also, if you wear layers, that's even better, because if you get hot or you get cold, then you can, add clothes, take off clothes. The key is to be comfortable. Number 3 is invest in a travel pillow, a sleeping mask, and also earplugs or noise canceling headphones. Usually on these long haul flights, you'll get a little package from the airline that you're flying with, and it'll have those earplugs for you, sometimes a sleeping mask, sometimes a pillow, and sometimes socks even. The best thing to do is to just bring your own in case the ones that they give you don't fit right or they're too tight. Again, comfort is key, so you want to be as comfortable as possible. Number 4 is to maximize your leg room, because you're going to want to stretch your legs and have as much leg room as possible on your flight. So don't put a big huge backpack underneath the seat in front of you. Try to put everything as much as possible in the overhead bins. Tip number 5 is to bring extra snacks and water. And usually on these long haul flights, you will get snacks and meals and beverages, but if there's any of those in between times, where you're feeling a little bit peckish or you're thirsty and you don't want to bother the flight attendant, then it's great to have your own snacks and water. Tip number 6 is to get up often, and this is where having an aisle seat is great, because you can just stand up next to your seat. You can take walks up and down the aisle. This is all very common, and it's kind of expected on long haul flights to see people walking up and down the aisles. So if maybe you're not comfortable getting up and you feel like everyone's going to be watching you, like, they're not. They'll watch you for maybe a second. They'll be like, oh, that person is just up, stretching their legs, taking a walk, and then they'll go back to their in-flight entertainment. So don't be shy, get up, stretch your legs, walk up and down the aisles, it's totally fine. Tip number 7 is to bring your own entertainment. Now, most of these flights do have in-flight entertainment, so each of the seat backs has a screen, and you have games there, music, movies, TV shows. But also, I know people who have had broken monitors the whole flight, and the flight is packed, so you can't switch spots. And they've had to spend 14 hours with just staring at a blank screen. So make sure that you're prepared for that scenario. And also, you might have already seen all the movies on the in-flight entertainment selection. So maybe, you can bring your own movies, you can bring your own music on an iPad. You can also bring magazines, a book, or maybe a journal, and some pencils or coloring pencils to draw and doodle on your flight. Tip number 8 is to try to sleep. I know this is hard, especially if you're leaving in the daytime. Your body still thinks it's daytime, but try to force yourself to sleep. It really will help so much with jet lag, and it'll make the long flight seem shorter if you indeed even just get in 2 hours of sleep. It'll help so much. Tip number 9 is to stay hydrated and drink a lot of water. For some reason, airplanes, maybe it's the recirculated air, it just kind of dries you out and you don't even realize that you're dehydrated. So hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And now we're on our last tip. Tip number 10, don't look at the time. I think a flight feels longer when you know how much time is left in your flight. So avoid checking the flight tracker every 5 minutes, because seriously, it's going to feel even longer. This is really helpful, especially if you are an anxious flyer. I know it's going to be hard to do, but don't check the time if possible. I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. And also, if you have any tips to share with us, please leave them in the comments. And if you want more information on our student travel programs, then make sure to check the video description. And happy travels.